We've reached the end. Whether you're tuning in for MatPat's latest FNAF breakdown, or checking out my buddies Treesicle taking a swing with their story you never knew, one thing is certain. Five Nights at Freddy's is the closest it has ever been to being concluded. For the longest time, the FNAF finish line just kept moving farther and farther away, but for the first time ever, it's actually staying put. The information is out there for us to solve this mystery, and we're 99% there. The problem is that the 1% is probably the most brutal part yet. Like I covered in my last video that came out at the start of December, we're basically left with a few questions needing to be solved. The actual contents of the box, the symbolism around Sister Location's Vlad cartoons, possibly paralleling Afton's hunger for souls, the mysterious orange man, and how the gravestones fit into all of it. However, the general story is laid out in front of us. We know what happened for the most part, but now it is about how and when. It's a really exciting time to be a FNAF fan, but it also makes me a little reflective, perhaps even sad. But before diving into why I'm sort of sad about it, I do have some exciting news to share. It's complete. For those who follow the channel closely, you probably know I've been working on a book, and as of last Monday, that book is finally out. I'm officially an author, and that's super weird to think about. The book is called The YouTuber Journey. For those of you watching this video, wherever you are out there in the world, this book is for you. If you've ever held the dream of becoming a YouTuber, this is a step-by-step guide to doing so. It's the book I wish I had when I started because I felt like I never had answers to any of my questions. Choosing YouTube as a career path in life and trying to convince others that it isn't a joke of a decision are things that small creators battle with daily. Heck, if you're younger, your parents might even chuckle if you tell them you want to pursue YouTube. Not everyone understands it. That's why I wrote this. It's for the next generation of content creators, the people starting today, so they can have everything they need to know, especially all the stuff you can't find answers to online about becoming a creator on YouTube. It's also for parents and other people who don't understand why so many people are turning to YouTube and other creative outlets online. We have more opportunities now than we ever did before. Even if you have a job, you might have that burning what if in the back of your mind. I know I did, and it didn't go away. Ever. I also feared that if the company I worked for was bought by another company, that I would lose my job. So I decided I needed a side hustle, a backup plan that would become my full-time plan. Having gone through the creative journey of YouTube myself, I thought I'd write a book that would answer the questions I had when I started, the questions that people ask me today, so that the next generation of content creators can have a complete understanding of everything about YouTube. The crazy algorithm, making a living off creating, the back-end secrets to how YouTube behaves, the career path of a YouTuber and how it unfolds, and all the mental roadblocks that come along with creating. Plus, I've included the stories of 10 other awesome creators. If you've ever wanted to start creating before, please check out the book. I have sample chapters on my website, and you can purchase the book in the description below, or by clicking on the eye icon in the top right corner of this video. Start creating your own adventure today. And thank you all for your continued support. Okay, back to Five Nights at Freddy's. Prior to me even being a YouTuber, Five Nights at Freddy's played such a large role in me becoming interested in content creation again. I remember watching Markiplier playing through Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and then MatPat starting one of the longest running theory quests I've ever seen. We were still at the beginning though. We had no idea what FNAF would become, and how intrigued we would all grow about its backstory. It was a multi-year adventure that was only just beginning. 2014 seems so long ago because SwankyBox kicked off in January of 2015 for me, and the FNAF game sort of guided me through it all. I didn't chime in on the lore until Sister Location came out, but I was always on the edge of my seats anytime a new game was released. It was truly a remarkable thing, and it was insane to see the power that a single indie series could have in comparison to mainstream gaming. In many ways, it paved the way for other indie titles to follow its path, and we can see games that were directly inspired by it, like Bendy and the Ink Machine, which is following the same exact path that FNAF did. Episodic releases, creepy, cute characters, and a system set up so that the deeper story unfolds through the player base. And that's pretty amazing. But the thing is, Five Nights at Freddy's is actually at a crossroads right now. FNAF 6 wrapped up majority of the lore minus a few floating elements, but people may be able to solve those loose ends based on what is already available. So that means Five Nights at Freddy's as a series could actually be concluded, minus the movie and other things still in the pipeline. That's sort of what makes me sad and nostalgic about it. Think of it this way. We all have games that we cherish while growing up. We have childhood favorites that are so wrapped up in nostalgia that they will burn as a beacon of memories for the remainder of our lives. Now, it's been many years since those games came out. For some of us, decades. But FNAF might be entering that territory now. If Five Nights at Freddy's 6 is truly the last game due to the concluded lore, and if Scott plans on branching out to newer things, then Five Nights at Freddy's as a series may start being archived. Think about this for a second. Imagine a day 10 years from today. Now imagine talking about Five Nights at Freddy's on that day to someone, as if the last Five Nights at Freddy's game came out 10 years ago. It might even be considered a retro title at that time. That's what's crazy to me. I obviously overthink things all the time, but like, FNAF was a series that gave me hope about creating online. To see how it brought so many people together, to see how it kickstarted a lot of creative careers for some of my favorite YouTubers, I can't simply forget that. Hell, my first SwankyBox gaming video was supposed to be a 2-player FNAF game that my friend and I were going to mock up. I scrapped it and went with a nostalgic video instead. But man, the FNAF nostalgia is in full swing for me. The feeling of unraveling a mystery collectively through Reddit, and the internet in general. The evening uploads from Markiplier, when he was finally vanquishing the dreaded 2020 nights. While I was just sitting in my apartment alone watching a YouTube video, I felt so connected to what everyone else was feeling. Every connection in the backstory felt like a celebration, and we all watched, played, and speculated from wherever we were in the world. That's something I can't forget, something I won't forget. For me, it was a monumental part of my gaming history. But how will the future play out? 2014 feels so far away already. But when I think back to the games I played as a kid, they still feel like they're a part of me now. I know this video might be odd because it's pretty sentimental, and some of you in the comments are going to be extremely put off by that, while others are going to join me in the corner and sob sweet tears of joy. Some of you will be popping champagne bottles and cheering that FNAF is finally over. And there's going to be others who are going to be nostalgically sad over it being concluded. I suppose good things can't last forever though. It definitely left its mark on the world, and I feel so many amazing indie titles have latched onto that sense of hope, that their games can grow into something so much more than just a game. Of course, Scott could always hit us with another curveball, but at this point, I'm not entirely sure what that would be. However, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's memories, so please share your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. I look forward to reading them. And with that, thanks for tuning in to this frightful nostalgia bomb. Five Nights at Freddy's was actually a catalyst for me to start pursuing YouTube. And like I mentioned earlier, if you have that dream of being a content creator, certainly don't give up on it. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and until my next video, cheers.